Hi, I'm David James and you're watching the Redmen TV.
So let's talk about Phil Coutinho now. Look, he's miles out of form at the moment. Absolutely miles out of form. And we're starting to get to the point now where we're like going, oh, don't shoot. And yet, you know, he's the only player who's even marginally got a right to do it because he does occasionally score them. How does Phil Coutinho find his form again?
I think he's got to be told to stop shooting. To be honest with you, I think he's a one-trick pony. Anyone?
At the minute, yeah.
For what has he done anything in the last 10 games?
What was the best thing he did today? It was not shoot and trick his way into the box.
Yeah, it was.
And he nearly got in a scoring position. That's what you want to see him doing. Either trick his way into the box or trick the ball into the box to someone else.
Yeah.
If he's shooting every time he comes in from the wing, then defenders are just going to say, "Oh, go on,
yeah, knock yourself out."
Yeah.
Well, you're playing the odds, aren't you?
Well, look at those 6 shots there. 5 were blocked. Why is that? Because they know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
It's literally that simple. He's going to cut inside and he's going to hit it with his right boot. And he's going to aim for the goalkeeper's left-hand post and try and bend it in there. Anyone who watches Match of the Day could tell you that that's what Phil Coutinho does. Yeah. You know, he's had a few early on in the season where he's had a little bit of success, and since then he's done absolutely
Well, when he scores in goals when he's playing well.
Yeah.
You know, if he's having an all-round good game, you can bet your boots that he'll score.
Yeah.
You know, but when his form isn't so good, his shots are as bad.
I said on the thing is, like, look, he has a terrific player, he's a terrific talent, and I agree with the sentiment. He isn't a one-trick pony at all, but he's playing like one of late. This run of form that he's on, exactly this. He's just resorting to, I'm just going to have a go here. And I think a lot of we said this in the past, it comes down to the pressure that's on him because he is our guy who can do that. And then we said, if when you're playing against teams and you're struggling to get those goals and you're struggling to break them down, you do need a moment of magic. So somebody's got to take that responsibility on, but it needs to be done more intelligently.
If we're having 17 more shots than he's, in addition to his, then we don't need him to shoot, do we? We're having enough shots. We need him to be the creative force because he's the only one who's got that in him.
Yeah.
Firmino might have it in him, but at the moment he's still settling in. But he does show flashes of sheer genius, but nowhere near enough to have a good game.
Yeah.
You know, but so we're left with Coutinho, and if he's not going to be creative, then you might as well, hold the white flag.
I said this about a month ago. I said he doesn't know how to play with Christian Benteke. Phil Coutinho hasn't got a fucking igloo where his runs are going to be. Yeah. But to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think he's actually suited anybody in our squad apart from Daniel Sturridge. No. And you look at it and you think, I feel sorry for Christian Benteke and I feel sorry for Adam Lallana when he does support the attack because you see them making runs and they go, fucking just shot again. What a fucking waste of a run again, like.
Yeah.
And then what happens is those runs dry up because what's the fucking point in them bothering their arse if the ball's just going to sail over the crossbar every single time?
I think that this is it. I said this in my match reaction. Phil Coutinho at the minute is that lad in five-a-side who eventually you just stop passing to because what's the point? What's the point? I know what you're thinking of. But it
was mentioned at the Sunderland game.
But you just keep going like what is the point of it? And what he's got to do is he's got to go back to basics in his game a little bit. Like you do, we all have these moments at even the very lowest end of football that we're able to participate in, is that you have a couple of them, and if they go in, brilliant. But if they don't,
keep it simple.
Rein it back in.
Maybe they should play him on the right, so that he cuts in onto his left, and he thinks, "Oh, I can't shoot with that. I'll have to pass it to someone."
But this is it. You should pass the burden on of those taking those opportunities because the problem is that we've seen chances recently where Firmino's actually been in better shooting positions, Benteke's been in better shooting positions with the ball, and they're actually trying to do the stuff that Phil Coutinho should be trying to do now. They're trying to lay other people in instead. If they had the confidence to shoot that Coutinho had, we'd have scored a lot more goals in these last couple of years. He just needs to go back to basics.
Maybe you need someone like Henderson to come and get a grip of him and say, "You shoot again, and I'll go and rip your head off."
You know what? I actually think his all-round game worked a lot better when we were playing 3 at the back. And we don't know how to get Phil Coutinho into the game anymore. I don't see the way. I always used to talk about it. Sacco and Moreno and Coutinho always used to play these little triangles because they were all close together on the pitch. Yeah. Phil Coutinho now is sort of caught in that position where he gets quite close to Emre Can, but Moreno's a little bit too far away from him, and he doesn't have options around.
But his only pass is square, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's where he'll pass it square or he'll have a shot.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing going on.
He's got the pace and he's got the skill, though. If he's going to play more from the left-hand side, why not try to get to the byline? Just try, have a go every now and again. But it doesn't seem to be in his game to have a go at doing that.
Yeah, I think he's one of those players who just, you're played with him over the years and stuff, is he likes an assist. He likes to thread a little neat ball in that other people can't see. Going to the byline and fucking whipping across it, it's a bit rudimental for fucking...
Yeah, but this is the thing, isn't it? And this is why you end up in a position where, but right now, if we've not got those shining lights and the shining lights that we've got are not performing, you're almost better off having stopgaps, more agricultural players. And I know he's not available. Like, you look at some of the jobs Milner's done. Look, Milner's nowhere near as good a footballer as Philippe Coutinho. But sometimes, when he played that, it was like the Ruben Kazan away game, and he played the left-hand side, and he got to the byline time and time again, because that was just a job that he was being asked to do.
He was playing on that side.
The problem with Coutinho is that, everyone goes on about him being the number 10, but the number 10, if you're playing one up front, needs to get him beyond, needs every now and again, needs to get past it. Look, again, like Gerrard used to do with Torres, he can play those great balls and he can pull the strings, but he has to get into the box sometimes and he has to shoot from inside the box. That's not his natural game at all.
Well, it has to be a relationship with your forwards if you're playing a number 10, and there isn't one, as you said before, with Benteke.
That's it. And from the left-hand side, he is, you're right, he is a one-trick pony.
You see,
from
the thing,
left-hand
at the end
side.
of the day, we all know what Phil Coutinho can do, and I think that's why we're disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
Firmino, on the other hand, at the moment, he's not doing anything like enough to even be in the team.
Yeah.
He should be the one who's trying to develop a relationship with Benteke.
Yeah.
He should be getting closer and closer to him and trying to play off him. And at the moment, no one's doing that at all, and that's what we need.
Yeah.
If Benteke's got someone to play with, then I think we'd see a different player.
Yeah. Well, going back to the rest of the game, again, always interested to know people's thoughts, watching at home, what your thoughts are on the Coutinho situation. How does he get his form back? It's mad because the last time we were really critical of Phil Coutinho's performances and his form, he cropped up with the goals against Chelsea, didn't it? In fact, it was during the Chelsea game, no less. We were talking about January, we were saying, well, if a good big come in form, look, he's not in form, you could maybe get something, blah, 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 and he basically won the game for us almost single-handedly. So I wouldn't put it past him to turn up in the games coming from next week, but it just needs to do that, And the problem we've got at the minute right now is that I'm less worried, we're in a weird position where I'm less worried about him playing against the top teams. We need someone who's our best player against the shit teams. Yeah. The shit teams. I'm being massively disrespectful because they're all better than us at the minute, but yeah, there you go. Loads of stick for Benteke. Is it all justified?
Yeah, and he brings it on himself as well.
No, I don't think it's all justified because, as we've said, he's isolated, and that's not his fault, is it? If he's up front on his own, and his forwards can't get the ball to him, But I mean, he doesn't look to be. He doesn't look to be in any form, but he doesn't look as though